Meteorologist Eric Gaff here, giving you a quick update on the current winter weather situation across Delmarva. We're starting to see that transition to sleet. We'll talk about that more coming up in just a bit, but I do want to show some viewers' snowfall reports that we've received. A few pictures showing their measurements. Joe in Bishopville, 3 inches at 8:30 a.m. and at 9 a.m. we had a report of 3 inches in Berlin from Alyssa. At 9:45 a.m. in Denton from Dawn, 5 inches and 5 inches at West Dover at 9:10 a.m. from Michelle. The highest report I've seen today was a 6.5 inch reading at Dover, and that was taken at 9:10 a.m. So now we're starting to see a transition from the primary low pressure crossing into the Appalachian Mountains, transferring its energy to a newly developed coastal low right now off the North Carolina coast, and that's going to be dragging in some warmer air off the ocean and transition a good amount of us on the peninsula to a chilly rainfall this afternoon. And we're actually already starting to see that take shape into Accomack County, much of Worcester County, from Ocean City to Chincoteague, seeing a chilly rain in progress, wintry precipitation from the lower shore points north into Sussex, Dorchester counties, Caroline County, Talbot County points north into the upper shore and Delaware, seeing that wintry precipitation. Snow, but a lot of this is likely mixing with sleet. We can use this correlation coefficient product, which basically tells us where hydrometeors are changing in the atmosphere. You see those higher values in northern Maryland towards the Baltimore metro, and that's basically showing us where that sleet line is. And it's appropriate to assume that we can extend that line into northern Delmarva and southern New Jersey. So I would say the line that I drew south of that, yes, while there is snow falling, it's likely mixing with sleet. And north of that line, not seeing any sleet at the moment. It's all snow over there into Pennsylvania and much of New Jersey. Take a look at these temperatures. It's above freezing for the coastline now in Wallops Island and Ocean City. Even here in Salisbury, it's 33 degrees. But stubborn low-level cold air in areas like Dover, Easton, and Cambridge. It's 21 degrees right now in Cambridge. You combine that with the snow and sleet-covered roads over there, and I would assume, it's safe to assume that travel is very tricky over there. So definitely be aware of that. Those roads do not look very good at the moment. We've got some snow falling with sleet mixing in at downtown Salisbury. We've got those snow and sleet covered roads over there as the plows continue to keep up the great work keeping those roads clear. The roads right now don't look too bad, though, here in downtown Georgetown with the shore honestly a Skycan. We've got that snow falling and likely mixing with sleet, as I mentioned earlier. So this precipitation is going to transition mainly to a chilly rainfall event for a good chunk of the peninsula, except for northern Delaware, all of the upper shore, and I would even say a good, at least part of the mid-shore. I would definitely watch out for that ice and sleet to persist pretty much for the rest of the day today. Precipitation will be winding down at around 9 p.m. A chilly rain, maybe a bit of freezing drizzle lingering in a few spots, like the upper shore of northern Delaware, like I mentioned, maybe some in the mid-shore. But the precipitation is going to be shutting down after midnight. Tomorrow we start off dry with below freezing temperatures, so any slush and wet surfaces that are on the ground, that's going to be refreezing, so definitely keep that in mind. There could be a few slick roadways, some slippery travel for the morning commute. And then tomorrow, temperatures will actually be dropping into the afternoon. We're down into the 20s with a gusty northwest breeze. It will be a cold one out there, but at the very least, we will have mostly sunny skies. So we're transitioning away from the snowfall accumulation threat and now looking at that ice accretion threat, like I mentioned, for northern Delaware into the upper shore and part of the mid-shore. Glaze of ice to maybe over a quarter of an inch of ice accretion will be possible. So that's likely, very likely, going to cause some very tricky to maybe even treacherous travel. And if ice accretion is thick enough, over a quarter of an inch, there could be some isolated power outages, maybe the potential for a few downed tree limbs. So definitely be aware of that. And by the way, whatever accumulates today, or whatever's left over today, I should say, we're not going to see any melting or efficient melting anytime soon with these temperatures. Staying below freezing for the next several days. At the very least, the weather does look quiet. Next chance for precipitation looks like Thursday with a slight chance for some scattered snow showers.